Hi everyone, let's just quickly analyze the characters involved in the play Volpone by Ben Jonson. If we see the story, it revolves around the characters of Volpone. He fakes his illness as part of a scheme to dupe all the legacy hunters and collect their gifts. All the legacy hunters give him lavish gifts and believing him to be near death in hopes of being named his heir. Okay, so they were they were after Volpone's property. Now let's start analyzing the characters. First, we can see that what's there in the play. Volpone is a satirical play written by Ben Jonson. So, in what ways it is a satirical play? Because it talks about humor and exaggeration, which is used to criticize all the characters. And it is written by Ben Jonson in 1606. It's a sharp and dark comedy that critiques greed, corruption, and the moral decay. Okay. Now, what do you mean by dark comedy? If we talk about this, we can say that it often explores serious or taboo subjects such as death, crime, dysfunction, and societal issues, infusing these topics with humor. So, this is the attribute of dark comedy when we talk about taboo subjects which are very awkward subjects or sometimes it is serious also and how the humor is infused with all these topics, it is the trait of dark comedy. So in that ways it is a sharp and dark comedy. Now it talks about or it criticizes greed, corruption and moral decline in the society through exaggerated characters and witty dialogues. The characters are symbolic, okay, so they are not literal, they are having their symbolism. And symbolic means all the characters are somewhere representative or some suggestive of something, and they are often named after animals in the play which reflect their personalities and roles in the play's moral satire. So how this play becomes a moral satire, it is a or it is due to the characters or the personalities of the characters involved in the play. Now, first character, if we see that who's the protagonist of this story is Volpone. His character is his role. We can say that he is wealthy Venetian nobleman and he master con artist. He is a master con artist. Now, master con artist, that means he tries to deceive others and he wants to somewhere he tricks them out of their money. So that kind of a person he was. Now if we see the traits of his character, we can say that first trait is cunning and manipulative. So how he was cunning and manipulative? Because he fakes a terminal illness to trick legacy hunters into showering him with gifts. So his foremost idea was to trick or was to fake a terminal illness, and this is how he tricks all the legacy hunters, and he wanted to have their gifts. Okay, so in that ways he was quite manipulative. Now second point can be he was hedonistic is a person who loves pleasure, wealth and the thrill of deceiving more than actual gain. So he wants to deceive people and he wanted to get uh, or seek the thrill out of deceiving people, whereas he was not at all concerned with the actual gain and he doesn't think what he'll be getting after doing this or in doing this, but he likes to do these kind of thrilling things. Now third, we can say he is a performer. He takes joy in deception as an art. He often plays roles disguising himself as a mountebank. Mountebank, a person who always want to deceive others in order to trick them out of their money. So always he used to play these kind of roles where he used to disguise himself. And fourth, we can say about his character that the character is morally declined and becomes more reckless, particularly in his lust for Celia, leading to his downfall. So at the end of novel we see that it was his due to his lust for Celia, his downfall fall occurs, and he becomes reckless. Reckless is a person who doesn't think about the consequences. So there he became careless, and due to that he had his downfall. Now, if we talk about the symbolism of his character, we can say he is compared, or he has the symbolism with the animal like fox. Fox is known for its cleverness, sly, and deception. Okay, so his character is also clever. He is sly, who intends to trick people, and often he was deceptive. He used to trick people. So this kind of character is there of Volpone. He is cunning and manipulative, hedonistic, performer, morally declined. Okay, so this is how we can write about the character of Volpone. Let's see the next character. Now let's understand the character of Mosca. He is representative of Fly, and his role is of Volpone's servant, and he is accomplice in deceit. That means he partnered Volpone in deceit. First character trait, we can say he is intelligent and resourceful, engineers most of the schemes, often manipulating Volpone as well. So he engineers most of the schemes, and he is often manipulating even Volpone as well. So he is not even leaving his master. Next character trait of Mosca is ambitious. He seeks to rise above his status. So he wants to be something else, and he wants to rise above his status because at present he is a servant. So he wants to raise, and eventually attempts to claim Volpone's fortune for himself. And he is one of the legacy hunters, and he also attempts to claim Volpone's property. Third character trait is of turncoat, loyal only to his own advancement. So it is a matter of fact that he is not at all loyal to even Volpone, and he is loyal only to his own advancement. Okay, so he wants his upliftment, nothing else. He betrays Volpone when it suits him. So whenever it is suiting him, it is suitable to him, he betrays even Volpone. Now, if we see the symbolism in his character, why it is his character is symbolism of Fly, feeds of others' corruption, always buzzing around power. So, if we talk about Fly, we all know that Fly sits on dirt and filth, and it feeds from all these kind of things. So he also feeds off others' corruption. When others are doing corruption, he thinks, or he finds what is good for him, and he does accordingly. And he always buzz around the power. Okay, so the person who is powerful, he works for that, and he sees what is there for him. Now next character is of Voltor. Voltor is symbolism of the bird vulture, and his role is like that he is a lawyer hoping to inherit Volpone's wealth. He is also hoping that he will be inheriting the Volpone's wealth. Now, character traits, we can say that his character is greedy and hypocritical, willing to manipulate the law and pervert justice for gain. He is willing to manipulate the law, and he could even change the law or things in the justice to gain anything. Okay, so that kind of a person he was. And hypocritical, we can say the person who criticizes the things in others, but he himself does the same. Now, second character trait is cowardly. He behaves cowardly when his schemes were unfold. We can say he retreats when his schemes start to unravel. Now, if we think about the symbolism from his character, why he is representative of vulture? Because he feeds on the dead, representing predatory legalism, and he is using legal things to victimize the others, and he is feeding on the dead. So wherever he seeks any possibility, he tries to gain something out of that. Now, next character is of Corvasio. Corvasio, the raven. Why his character is representative of raven? Raven is a bird like crow, but somewhat bigger than crow. Now, let's see what kind of role or character traits are there of this character. Role: a senile, miserly old man who disinherits his own son to gain Volpon's favor. So, here we can say that he is a miserly, mad, old kind of man who disinherits even his own son to gain Volpon's property. Okay, so he wanted to get favor from Volpon, and he has become blind. Now he couldn't see that he was disinheriting his own son. Okay, now the character traits, we can say he was morally blind, driven by greed to absurd lengths, even to betraying family. Okay, so he doesn't think about his own son. He was morally blind, and he could go to such extent when he couldn't think that with this greed will take him where. Okay, so he doesn't think about that, and he'll be going where and what kind of things will be leading to this path. He doesn't even know about that. Now, next character is pathetic and deluded. He represents the decay of values with age. So he has become pathetic. His character has become pathetic out of, we can say, due to age. He has lost all kind of values, moral values in him. Now, symbolism, if we talk about the symbolism or representation of the character of Corvasio, we can say that he is like raven. Raven is a bird like a crow, and who is associated with death and doom, reflecting his age and moral decay. Okay, so it talks about, or it is representative of his age and moral decay. Now let's see the next character, who's Corvino. Corvino is representative of Crow, and if we talk about his role, we can say he is a wealthy merchant and another legacy hunter. So he is a wealthy person, merchant, and one of the legacy hunters he is. Okay, now let's talk about the traits. We can say he is jealous and abusive. He is obsessed with controlling his wife. So, wife Celia. He is jealous and he is obsessed about controlling his wife Celia. Next character trait of this character, we can say he is hypocritical. We can say he is willing to prostitute his wife Celia to Volpone for the hope of inheritance. So it is the heights of his character when he was willing to prostitute her to Volpone, because he hopes that through this way he will be inheriting the property of Volpone. If we talk about the symbolism of his character, we can say the crow is greedy, loud, and ominous. He can be found anywhere. His loud noise, and he is known for his greed. So this character has this kind of symbolism with crow. Now next character is of Celia, who is innocent, who is Corvino's wife, and object of Volpone's desire. Now, if we talk about the character traits of Celia, we can say she is virtuous and pure, a stark contrast to the corrupt world around her. So, up till now, the characters which we have seen that they all are shrewd, they all are corrupt, and somewhere they are greedy. So they present the bad world. Okay, whereas this character of Celia, she is virtuous and pure, and she is totally opposite to the corrupt world around her. Now, next character trait is she is oppressed. She is victim of her husband's control and Volpone's lust. Now, third character trait is moral compass. we can say her resistance to Volpon's advances highlights the depravity of others. Okay, so she resisted the Volpon's desires, and her character highlights the depravity or the bad behavior of others. Now, symbolism, as far as it is concerned, we can say her character is showing innocence and virtue in a corrupt world. Now, next character is of Bonario. Bonario is the son of Corbesio, and he is somewhere also like the character of Celia. Now, as far as the traits are concerned, we can say he is also honest and honorable, one of the few truly good characters. Now, if we see the character of Bonario, we can say that he is a symbol of justice. He helps expose the corruption of the court and the legacy hunters. So that way he is a symbol of justice. Now, if we see the other elements in the story or play, we can say it's of judges. We can say the avocatri judges, group of judges. Their role is like this: the Venetian judges who preside over the trials, so who are managing the trials, and these kind of traits are shown by them. They are easily deceived at first. So initially it illustrates the fallibility of institutions. So what kind of mistakes they commit in the judiciary, this is shown in the play. Eventually they are fair, they deliver justice in the end and restoring moral balance somehow. Now if we see the character dynamics, we can say that the animal imagery isn't just symbolic. Okay, it is not only symbolic but it also tells the reality. It reflects Johnson's satirical view of human nature as driven by base instincts like greed, lust, and ambition. So they are not only symbolic, but these kind of instincts of human nature are shown through these animal imageries. Now, next, if we talk about the characters of Celia and Bonario, they both only maintain virtue while others degrade themselves for wealth. Now, we can say, if we talk about Volpone and Mosca, we can say that though they are clever, are ultimately undone by their own hubris and moral blindness. But all these kind of cleverness was gone when they were proud and they were morally blind. So this kind of dynamics is there about all the characters, and we can summarize that ways. So I hope with the help of this video, the story of the play is now clear to you. So as the characters, hit the like button and share it with your friends. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe it. What topics you want me to discuss in my upcoming videos, let me know in the comment section. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.